everybody, it's Melanie. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And so we're back today with another video of what I sold and how much profit I made. Today I'm going to share with you 25 items. And if you missed the last time we did this video, that was April 1st, and I'm going to put it right up here for you to go take a look at. This was a really fun video. You guys really seemed to enjoy it. And so I've planned another one for you today, and I'm excited to get going. All right, so the point of this video is not to brag about what I have been selling. It is to educate you guys that are also trying to sell vintage items, items that you're thrifting, that you're going to garage sales. I want to educate and inspire you, and just to share with you and be transparent on, hey, here is the money that I have been able to make selling these items, and potentially you could do the same. So the last time we did this video, I shared with you guys some thoughts that I have about pricing, because I know I get a lot of questions from the antique booth owners and the Etsy sellers out there that watch this channel, help with their pricing. And I'm not gonna go back through what I shared in that video. So if you're really struggling with your pricing, especially if you are feeling reticent about asking higher prices for your items, then I want to encourage you to go back and check out the previous video like this that I did. Again, it's linked in the description, and it's also linked in the box just a few minutes ago in this video. But I do want to cover two quick things before we dive into our roll of 25 items. And the first one is this. I want to remind you that pricing is all about value. So your job when you're selling an item is to price it at the point where that's going to perfectly meet with your customer's expectation of value. Now, when I say value, I don't mean cheap, right? That's kind of what it's come to mean in our retail world. It's the value section that means it's cheap. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that your customer wants it, that they look at the item that you have and they look at the price that you're asking, and to them it is worth it. They are happy to pay you the price that you're asking for your item because they agree that to them it has that value. And that's the deal, y'all, is that value is completely subjective. It's about what your customer perceives is the value of your item. All right, if your items are not selling, then that means you're missing that. You have not met the value expectation of your customers. And there's three different things that you can do to try and fix that. Number one is you can start selling to a different customer base. Perhaps you need to find customers that are looking for more specific, unique things for their house. They're not just looking for anything. They're customers that are higher end shoppers. They're customers that are shopping online versus walking around at a flea market, okay? You could change your customer base. That could be something that could help you meet the value expectation of your customers. All right, thing number two, a lot of the perceived value of your item is in how you're presenting it. So you'll notice in these pictures that I'm about to share with you guys, they're all staged really cute. I took my items and I staged them and I put some greenery around them. That's all stuff that's been listed in my online store. And that's because I don't want to just set it there, take a kind of crappy picture of it with my iPhone and throw it out there. That doesn't speak to the value of the item. Remember, I'm trying to convince my customers and help them see the value that is in whatever this thing is that I'm selling them. So that's why I'm taking nice pictures. Now, if you're not selling your stuff online, you're selling it in your booth, you can do the same thing. Don't just pile your stuff on a shelf. Don't just pile it on the floor. Don't let your stuff get super dirty and dusty, okay? Stage your items. Show your customers how they can use their amazing things that you found in your own home. Help them believe the value and see the value in what you're selling. If you want to dig into this idea a little bit more, I have a video on staging shelves that you can go check out right here. And a lot of what we talk about in that video kind of works for your whole space in general. And the third thing you can do, if you are not selling, then after you've tried those other two things, changing your customer base, better marketing your item so that you help people understand its value, then and only then do I want you to consider lowering your prices, okay? Because sometimes we do. Sometimes we just miss the mark. But I'm willing to bet that the majority of you, your prices are not too high. Probably where you have missed this is that you're not convincing your customers of the value of their item. Maybe you have the wrong customer base. Maybe you're in the wrong mall. Maybe you need to start selling online and you're not. Or maybe you're not doing a good enough job presenting your items in a way that makes them really valuable and appealing, okay? So try those things first before you just start marking stuff on sale, because I really do believe that the amazing things that you're finding, there are people out there that don't know how to find it. They don't know how to go to the estate sales or the garage sales or the flea markets, or they just flat out don't want to. They want you to find the cool stuff for them. And so if you can convince them like, hey, this dollar item that I'm selling you for 20, like that $19 that's in there is me, my time, my expertise, hunting it down, knowing where to look, and showing you how to decorate with it. There are people day in and day out that are happy to pay that. Okay, real quick, the second thing I wanted to share before we dive into the 25 items is in our last video, I had a couple people comment and say, hey, Melanie, I think you're calculating your information wrong. And so I just wanted to explain to you guys, how do you figure out your profit margin that you're getting on your items? And so really there's two different ways to do that. You can look at a markup calculation, or you can look at margin. Now, if you're thinking, I'm gonna stop this video right now because she's talking math, I'm gonna be super quick, I'm gonna break it down, don't worry. Markup is basically how many times you increase the cost of your item till you hit your retail price. So if you buy a $5 item and you sell it for 10, you have marked up, you have a 100% markup. You've taken 100% of that $5, you've added it, and now you have $10 for your retail price. That's markup. But what margin is it's looking at, here's what you sold. You sold your $10, $5 of it is what it cost you. And so it's the percentage of your total sale, it's the percentage of the cost of the item out of that total sale. So if we're talking margin, I had a $5 item, I sold it for 10, the profit margin is 50%. Because out of that $10, 50% of that $10, which is $5, is what I had to invest to get that sale, okay? So I have calculated profit margin on these videos, and I had a couple people say, hey, Melanie, your margin numbers are way low. They're actually 600, 700, 800%. What those viewers were looking at is actually the idea of markup. You can look at it either way. For me, profit margin is just always the easier way to look at it. And I am aiming for 75% at least profit margin on the items that I'm selling across the board on average. So, you ready to see? Let's get going. We're gonna roll through. I'm gonna show you 25 items, what I paid, what I sold, profit margin, and total profit for all 25. Okay, so there you have it. I'm curious if there was any numbers that you were surprised about. Maybe there was something that you thought you could sell for even more, or if those seem to hit where your prices have been hitting. I would love to hear in the comment section, but I hope that you're encouraged by that. All right, I also want you to make sure that you're always thinking about, one, how can I provide value to my customers? Because when I provide value, that's when they're willing to pay higher prices. And then two, how can I make sure that I'm treating this like a business and that I'm pricing my items high enough that I actually get paid for my time and I can actually give myself a paycheck? Because you are working when you're doing this, and it's completely okay to give yourself a paycheck. That's the goal that you need to be shooting towards. Hey, speaking of working and speaking of a paycheck, I want to let you guys know that I just noticed that underneath our videos, we now have this little heart button with a $sign on it. And it says thanks underneath it. And if you tap that button, it pops up an option to add a tip to our channel. It can be $2, $4, $5, but it's just a little way to say, thanks, Melanie, I have learned a lot from you. Maybe your sales are better. Maybe you have made some business decisions. And it's just a way to say, hey, thanks, I have learned from you, and to support my business and to support this channel. I hope that I have offered you great content and helpful content for your business. And so if you choose to offer us a little thanks tip, that would be awesome. I didn't even know those were there. I literally just noticed earlier today and I thought, hey, that's kind of cool. So I wanted to pass it along to you guys. Of course, our videos will continue to be free on YouTube. They're here for you. Now, if you're not a subscriber to our channel, I would love it if you would hit that little button. We are pressing hard for 20,000 subscribers. I'm so excited. We're getting close. So please subscribe. Share these videos with your antique booth friends. Let's elevate this entire industry. You guys, I'm convinced that even in this coming recession that either we're in or not in, depending upon who you listen to, this can be a fantastic industry. It's only grown in the 10 years that I've been doing this, and I see it growing so much more. So let's all work together, share what we've learned, elevate our industry. Let's have an awesome time selling some really cool stuff that we're finding. Okay, you guys are amazing. Thanks so much for joining me today. Hope to see you guys again soon. Bye-bye.